The scariest part of your past is that it needs your permission. This is Sinners. And if you've ever tried to start it over, new city, new job, new relationship, new routine, but somehow the same darkness keeps showing up, this movie explains why. A quick spoiler warning, I'm going to be going into the key beats and the shape of the ending, not a full recap, just moments that prove the point. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 3 ways your past returns, and the 3 moves that stop feeding it. Because the truth is, the past isn't a memory, it's a debt. And debt collects. Sinners drops us in 1932 Mississippi. Twin brothers Smoke and Stack come back from Chicago with the plan. Build a juke joint, build a future, build something that finally belongs to them. But the movie doesn't frame starting over like a motivational poster. It frames it like a setup. Because the past doesn't hate your dreams. The past hates your freedom. And in Sinners, the past literally shows up as a vampire, led by Remick, drawn in by the one thing that feels pure in the middle of all of this, Sammy's music. So let's break it down into something you can actually use. 3 ways your past comes back: the address, the interest, and the signature. The address is where the past can find you. Most people think starting over is geography. They think that if they change the outside, the inside resets. But the address isn't your city, it's your patterns. If you keep the same patterns, your past always has your address. Same choices, same people, same coping, same self-betrayal. That's why you can move on and still feel haunted. Because you didn't change your address, you just changed the wallpaper. Sinners shows this immediately. The twins are building a new home, but old memories, old wounds, old grief, old decisions still have a claim. The sad thing is, starting over doesn't erase old receipts. Now, the interest. This is what happens when you avoid something long enough that it stops being a problem and becomes a monster. Interest is the price of delay, and Sinners is one long example of it. The plan is simple. Open the juke joint, make it work, keep people safe, but the pressure stacks up from every direction. Money, power, racial stuff, and then the supernatural threat. And that's the point. You're not just fighting one enemy, you're fighting a system that was waiting for you to try to be free. And Remick isn't just evil for fun. He's drawn to the thing that's transcendent, Sammy's music, and he wants to consume it, possess it, and turn it into his. That's what the past does when you don't deal with it. It doesn't just return, it returns with the hunger, it returns with the strategy, it returns with interest. So if you've ever said, I'll deal with it later, and later showed up bigger than you expected, that's interest. The worst part is, interest doesn't feel dramatic while it's building. It feels like just another excuse or another I'll lock in tomorrow or I do it later, until you realize you've been paying for years, not a signature. This is the one thing that decides everything. The signature is how the past gets power, and Sinners makes it painfully clear. The vampires can't enter unless they've been invited in, meaning the monster isn't just attacking you, it's negotiating with you. And this is where the film becomes personal, because most of the things that haunt people in real life aren't kicking your door down. They're waiting for you to crack it open. They get in through tolerance, through silence, through I'll fix it later, I'll allow it because it's familiar. And in the film, when the invitation finally happens, it isn't framed like a random plot beat, it's framed like a decision that collapses the safety of the room. That's a signature. You sign for the past when you keep giving it access. And the movie shows access in different forms. Mary steps into danger and comes back changed. Stack gets pulled into a version of love that turns lethal. The entire community becomes vulnerable the moment the boundary breaks. So here's a question that flips the whole thing from movie talk to real life. What are you still signing for? What are you still paying for from 5 years ago? A relationship? A mistake? A version of you that didn't know better? Because Sinners is basically screaming one truth. If you keep signing for the past, you won't have anything left for the future. Now, what do? 3 moves. Simple, not easy, but simple. Move number 1, name it. In the movie, once they identify what they're dealing with, everything changes. In real life, it's the same. If you can't name what's haunting you, you can't fight it. Not my past. What part? What pattern? What person? What trigger? What promise do you keep breaking to yourself? Move number 2, cut access. Stop inviting it in. In Sinners, the whole point is that the boundaries matter. Once it's broken, everything changes. In real life, cutting access looks like distance from the environment, distance from the person, distance from the habit, and distance from the version of you that needs chaos to feel alive. You don't negotiate with what feeds on you. Move number 3, build new proof. This is how you change your address. Don't just decide you're new, create receipts that you're new. 1 week of a new standard, 1 finished project, 1 honest conversation you've been avoiding, 1 boundary you actually hold when it gets tested. Because proof is what convinces your nervous system that the chapter changed. And here's why the ending of Sinners matters. The film doesn't pretend you leave untouched, it shows the cost. It shows who survives and it shows who carries it. And then it gives you something that hits harder than a speech. The epilogue. An older Sammy, a life lived, a legacy built, still haunted, but still choosing morality and meaning. That's emotional truth. Escaping your past doesn't mean you never remember it. It means it no longer owns your future. Sinners hits because it tells the truth. The past doesn't stop chasing you because you move. It stops chasing you when you stop feeding it. So if you've been feeling haunted lately, you're not crazy. You've just been paying interest. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Also, let me know which movie you want me to cover next. Or don't. I'm still gonna make the content anyways.